Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Chris Unbias back with another blog. Did my Norbes Untold Truth ruin my relationship with URL? Before I get into that, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button for me, man. I appreciate all the love and support. I got to tell y'all a story, man. You know, I like to tell stories, man. I'm a storyteller, so I got to tell y'all a story. So, I get out of jail, right? I log on to my Facebook group, and I'm like, let me just see and lurk and look at all the comments where people was like, yo, Chris is done. Fuck that nigga Chris. All that kind of stuff. So, I don't know why I was like, glutton for punishment. Well, I don't even like this. This is what I mean when I tell you I was fucked up in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at all the comments. I'm looking at blogs. I don't even want to look at them, but I'm looking at them anyway. That's just how crazy jail make you. So, I get out. You know, you can put your name in the search bar in your Facebook group and search everything that has your name in it. So I'm looking. I come across a Norbes post. Norbes was very supportive while I was locked up, man, and I really appreciated that about Norbes a lot, man. And you know, that was one thing that I kind of, you know, he would hit me up and ask me how I'm doing behind the scenes and stuff like that, and tell me to keep my head up. So, you know, meanwhile I'm lurking, you know, months and months are passing. I'm looking at battle rap, looking at the scene. I started catching Norbes making a lot of loyalty videos on Periscope.
I'm a loyal ass dude. You know, I feel you, Will. But what if you got to question everybody? Is that loyal? Like, how about if you're loyal and now you feel like you got to question people's loyalty? How do you deal with that? Loyalty's tough, man.
Making these videos, and I'm like, yo, I hit somebody up and I said, yo, don't be surprised if URL parts from Norbes or Norbes parts from URL. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. Fast forward, you get a twerk situation. I always knew that this was not really why they let him go, but it was a good way out for them to just say, yo, this is why we can't mess with you no more. But people behind the scenes that really know URL and Norbes situation, and I didn't know as much as I learned, but I knew enough to know that there was issues with P and issues with Chico and all this kind of stuff. I knew a little bit. So when this happened, remember Norbes hit me up trying to comfort me in a way like, yo, I just want to make sure you good. Now it's my turn to do the same. I hit him up like, yo, you good? You know, big homie, I just want to make sure you straight, yada, yada, yada. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I could tell he was down, right? Very, very down, very, very hurt. So I said, yo, we might as well do this Untold Truth, man. Let me bring your story to light. So I pull up over Norbes' house to do this Untold Truth. And I'm literally blown away at the shit I'm hearing in this Untold Truth. Now, mind you, I'm very plugged in battle rap. But the shit Norbes was telling me, bro, like the stuff with P and the stuff with Chico and Smack and the Mayweather and the Harry thing. I done met Harry and talked to Harry out at events a few times. I never knew this stuff. So, mind you, I go over to Norbes' house to really interview him about the lawsuit, the letter, his career at URL. I never even know it's going to get this deep where he's like going in. Like, I mean, there's like more stuff that is not even in the Untold Truth. Like me asking him like, yo, when the last time you got a check from URL? Like he answered those questions. Like these were like things that he didn't want to put out though. So, I mean, I didn't even expect this to get that deep. What struck me the most in the Untold Truth was his relationship with Smack. Because me and Norbes used to not be cool at one time. We had a brief little issue too, and a lot of it was just me speaking on things I didn't like about URL, him really defending the brand, and me and him having an issue. That was his issue with most bloggers. They say something about URL, he defends URL. I go to an event, I meet Norbes for the first time, we talk things out, hash it out. Ever since then, we've been cool. When I'm listening to what he's saying about Smack, it fucking blew my mind, bro. Because every time I spoke to Norbes, every time I saw Norbes in an interview, he praised Smack so much. He said things about Smack that Smack wouldn't even say about Smack. He said Smack they should create a statue at the BET Awards for Smack. He said Smack was like a father figure. He said a battle don't even count if Smack don't flip the coin. I bet you if you ask Smack, does a battle count if you don't flip the coin? Smack wouldn't even say that. So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, yo, it's like borderline dick riding. And I'm not even dissing Norbes because I told Norbes this when I did an interview. I was like, bro, I'm not going to lie, yo, boy, you was almost dick riding Smack. So this is something I told Norbes to his face, so it's not me hating on him in a blog. Norbes was like borderline supporting Smack so bad, it was like low-key dick riding in a way. To hear that y'all really didn't have this relationship and to hear that you ain't been to his house, that blew me the fuck away. You ain't been to his house? You been a part of URL 10, 11 years. Nigga never invited you over. You never even tried to come over. You ain't go to his house. He did tell me, like, Smack would invite him to strip clubs and stuff like that, but he wasn't a strip club kind of dude. So it wasn't like he never got invited nowhere, but you ain't been to his house and you live in New York and he live in New York. Blew me the fuck away. I go back home, I'm sitting at the computer. I got the fucking SD card now of all of this stuff. What do you do when you have the biggest interview in battle rap? But you got a relationship with URL. I'm cool. Now, mind you, in between the time of me interviewing Norbes, Beasley is reaching out to someone I'm cool with. And like, yo, Chris, beat his case, you know, we're going to bring him on stage. And, yo, you know, make sure you get at this blog and this blog. I ain't like what they were saying about you. This is like way in 2019 when I first got out of jail. I'm hearing Beasley. I'm not talking to Beasley personally, but I hear him saying this to a dude that we mutually know. He was like, yo, I spoke to Beasley and Beasley said this about you. Seemed to be somewhat supportive. That's the balance I was weighing in the whole time I had this interview. To put it out or not to put it out. To put it out or not to put it out. Then it hit me. Something just hit me out the blue and it just had me thinking. When I was locked up, I got a total of 8 postcards. 8 postcards when I was locked up. It was 8 more than I thought I would get. Reno, Nevada. Dallas, Texas. Seattle, Washington. Richmond, Virginia. Atlanta, Georgia. Somebody from Atlanta hit me up. Where is this one from? This is from Gary, Indiana. Delta. Bronx, New York. Bronx, New York. And this one right here is from it's another Chicago. Chicago in the house. So I'm looking at these postcards and you can see S. and Coy, Dallas, Texas. I'm looking at these postcards. You know, I noticed one thing. None of them said Smack, Beasley, Chico, or Norbes. Not one. Now, I'm not saying they owe me a postcard. I never would have expected to get a postcard from them. So I'm not saying that. None of them said Rare Breed Entertainment, Black Ice, Spit That Heat, Bullpen Battle League, Guerrilla Warfare, King of the Dot. All these leagues I used to support. All these leagues I used to put out prediction blogs and, promoting them on the channel and doing all of that. The only people that actually wrote me were random fans. But here I am thinking I got all of these great relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. Now, all these postcards that I got, they say sometimes your biggest supporter will be a stranger. You know, I used to hear that every now and then, that your biggest supporter will be a stranger. All these postcards, I don't know any of these people. So I'm sitting back and I have the biggest interview in battle rap. And I'm just like, you know what? I got to worry about Chris Unbias. I got to worry about my brand. I got to be loyal to my brand. This is what I'm thinking. You know, I put out that Norbes Untold Truth on my platform. I would give URL the same opportunity to utilize my platform to put out their rebuttal. I mean, obviously they have a bigger channel, so they don't need it. But I'm just saying, like, that's my thought process for anybody. If I put out an interview and someone is saying something that about you that you don't like, I'm going to give you the same opportunity to rebuttal that. If Smack called me right now and said, yo, I got something I want to say, I'll be on the first plane to New York to interview Smack for Smack's Untold Truth to speak his mind. So I'm not really on any particular side. I wish Norv the best. I'm really in the middle. I fuck with URL. I support everything that they've been doing in battle rap for the most part. There's some things I don't like, but at the end of the day, you know, they put on a lot for battle rap. I got a lot of respect for what they've done, but we don't necessarily need each other. You know, when you first start off as a blogger, you look for acceptance from leagues like, oh, URL retweeted me, and oh, RBE DM me, or oh, Black Ice want me to host the event. When you first start off, that's the acceptance that you look for. But I'm really validated as a blogger. I'm validated in media. So I don't really need that acceptance from them. And they don't need me. There was a time when they needed bloggers to promote their brand and promote battles. They're so much a machine now and making money and so big in the culture, they don't necessarily need Facebook groups and Chris Unbias and these little bloggers. They don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So we're at a point where if we rock, we rock, and if we don't, we don't. We don't necessarily need each other in order to coexist. So I remember being on the phone with P, and it was me, P, and Jay Black, all on three-way, and he was telling us, like, yo, you better get down with URL, like, we're doing big things, you know, it's better that you with us now than trying to get with us later. When I hung up that phone, I knew I was going to never take advantage of that opportunity just because I want to be able to talk my shit. And sometimes there's things about URL I don't like. I want to be able to scrutinize them and not feel like I'm an employee. So when I got out of jail and I saw where Jay Black was, I was proud of Black because he took advantage of that opportunity. And Black is making probably a decent amount of money with them. Very good on YouTube. His channel is blowing up. Over 130,000 subscribers. He's getting face-offs. He's getting all kind of stuff. He's getting a lot of content driven to his channel. That's a blessing for Black. But that could never be me, though. So I realized that sometimes another person's journey is not necessarily your journey. So I'm not the guy that wants to be on caffeine and wants to fly to New York. Fly to LA and keep getting COVID tested and do all that. You know, kind of like in, I guess, the Henny role where he was with URL and being like next to Black. I don't ever want to be in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not saying I won't do anything with URL. I'm never going to be that guy. When I got out of jail, man, it just made me like less trustworthy of people. You know, I don't know people's genuineness and their intentions. I get messages every day of people telling me they always knew I was innocent. That wasn't the energy I was feeling when I got out of jail. I'm reading all this shit. You go on Twitter, search Chris Unbias. It's tons of hate shit. Go on Facebook group, search Chris Unbias. Tons of hate shit. I wasn't feeling that energy. So now when I look at people, how genuine are you? I don't really know. So it's hard for me to be trustworthy of people. I'm way more reserved now. Even people that know me, even in the Facebook group, they probably can be like, yo, I tag Chris all the time. He barely come in here and answer my question. I'm barely even online like that anymore. It's like I'm like a popular blogger, but still in a bubble. And it's just that protective field around me. Like, I don't really know who to trust at all, to be honest with you. So I was never going to be that guy again. When I got out, I knew I was never going to be in that role again. I just had to worry about myself. You know, so I hit up Beasley on November 8th just to tell him, just to see what was up with him. You know, I was going to tell him about the interview, the whole nine. It sat in his IG Messenger for like 2 weeks, unread and not responded to. So I hit my homeboy up. I was like, yo, hit up Beasley and tell him to check his messages. When he checked his messages, mind you, it's like later now. I didn't put my blog out at this point. And in the beginning of my blog is Norbes' trailer. So I know URL has seen the trailer. Beasley was cold. You know, I'm very short. Didn't even ask me how I was doing. I've been locked up 2 years. Didn't even ask me how I was doing. I knew he felt some type of way. So when people ask me, did this blog hurt my relationship with URL, it's really on URL. It reminds me of the whole knowledge situation where I said, why is math mad at knowledge for being knowledge? Why would URL be mad at me for being me? I've been putting out Untold Truths. I put out one with Arsenal. He shit it all on Smack. I put it out though. I did one with Mav. He had his shit to say about Smack and URL. I put it out though. So I'm never going to not put out an interview. That's never going to happen, that I will not put out an interview. Maybe if it's very disrespectful to the point where it's like some street shit, or it might lead to a fight, or it's kind of irrelevant, I may not put it out. If I fuck with you, I give you a heads up, like, yo, so-and-so said this about you. It's coming. Don't get it fucked up. I'm putting it out. I just want to let you know what's coming down the pike. I might do that. You know what I'm saying? I got respect with people where I can give them a heads up of what's going on. Maybe a year from now we'll all laugh at this. But I gotta do what's best for me, man. And that's pretty much my answer. If you're mad at me, then you're mad at me for being me. You know, I never worked for URL. I was just cool with them. I never worked for any league. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent, so I'm always going to do what's best for me. I'm always going to do what's best for Unbias. And that's pretty much where I stand on that, man. Just wanted to clear the air on that. I appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch y'all in the next vlog, man. Holla at your boy.